How you doing, folks? Well, there's a reason why it looks like I'm driving a bedroom on wheels at the moment. It's because I kind of am. I'm driving my 1987 Volkswagen camper van, and I'm about to join a motorway in it. It has a fairly tired 1.9 AAZ engine in it, which is a turbo diesel, old school indirect injection, and goes along quite nicely, but it can be hard to start when it's hot, and I reckon the fuel pump is on the way out, because I think it's just not developing the crack pressure to open the injectors. So anyway, why am I videoing this? Because I am on my way up to collect the Beetle engine. In a previous video I spoke about having to go up and take the engine out, where the Beetle is in storage, is ready to get its bodywork done, and didn't actually have to do anything with it, but yeah, so that was really handy. But now what I have to do is I have to get the engine up to the machine shop who is going to rebuild it for me. I was going to tackle some of it myself, but to be honest with you, I have a 6-month-old baby at home. I just don't have the time, and there's a lot of the work I couldn't do anyway myself. So Dave Wheatley is the name of the guy who's doing the work for me. I'll be meeting him later on today. He is in Armagh in Northern Ireland, and he is the name of his company is Bug Bits with a Z at the end. So does very, very good engine work on VW engines. So it's kind of going to sort of be a long day for me. I mean, it's already starting to get dark now, and I'm just after finishing work. I finished work at 4 o'clock. It's 4:10 now, so literally just left the airport. But yeah, so I'm on the M1 motorway heading north at the moment, up to collect the engine, and then continue on up to Northern Ireland. So yeah, I kind of expect to be up in Armagh by maybe 7:30, I'd reckon. Depends on how long it takes me to get the engine into the back of the van. The issue there is that the gearbox is still on it, so I have to take the gearbox off before I bring the engine. I don't want the gearbox with me. I might take it in the van and bring it home and do some work on it there myself, but I'm not going to do any. I'm not going to do anything on it up in Armagh. So anyway, look, I'll update you a little bit in a while with my progress, and yeah, I will talk to you soon. Okay, I'm kind of stuck in a bit of traffic here on the way over to collect the engine, so I kind of thought now would be a good opportunity to tell you a little bit about the camper van. Myself and my wife bought it in, I think it was about 7 years ago now at this stage, and it was a non-runner. It had a 1.6 TD engine in it with a broken timing belt, and it had been sitting up for, I estimate, about 8 years, and it was looking very sorry for itself. 2 flat tyres, covered in moss, and generally in need of a bit of love and attention. The beginnings of a bit of corrosion on it as well too, in the usual places like sills and all that as well. So I kind of saw the potential in it and knew that I would be either able to get the 1.6 engine back running again, or change the engine for something else. So I kind of foolhardily tried to get the 1.6 engine running, and yeah, it ran. Changed 2 valves in the head, changed the timing belts, got it back running again, found the turbo was banjaxed, the fuel pump was leaking, and it was a dead loss. So at that point in time I decided, you know what, let's cut our losses, let's get a 1.9 engine into it. The 1.6 engines are underpowered at best anyway, especially when they're always loaded like in a camper van. So yeah, picked up a 1.9 TD engine that was out of a Vento, and Mark II Golf just passed me. Anyway, put that in. Turned out the head gasket was blowing on that engine, so I was like, well, I'm kind of in knee deep now. I've already paid for the engine. I didn't pay a huge amount for it. I think it was €250. In hindsight, I should have paid more for it, but well, if it was a better engine, I would have paid more. But anyway, changed the head gasket, changed the timing belt on that one while I was at it, and turned out the head was cracked because it blew the head gasket again after about 1,000 miles, and the turbo started leaking, the fuel pump started leaking, and it was turning into the proverbial Trigger's brush. Those of you who know Only Fools and Horses will get the reference. Those who don't, basically it's making a lot of making a good engine out of a lot of parts, and very little left of the original. So it drives now, and I had to do a lot of work on it. got the fuel pump and injectors rebuilt. I mean, just a seal kit put into the fuel pump, but it's still tired. I think it's got high mileage on it. And but I mean, myself and my wife have been all over France in it twice. We've been over down southwest of England as well too, and around Wales. Beautiful part of the world that is, actually, I have to say. So we've done a lot of travelling in it. So I mean, it's been good that way, you know. But the van itself needed a bit of body work, so we got the body work done down in VW Spares down in Castledermot in Ireland, and they did a very nice job of it, I have to say. It's solid, it's painted, the colour of it is new. You see it on new Volkswagen Polos mainly. You can kind of just see it on the door frame there in the shot, in the frame there. But I'll get some pictures of it of the outside at another stage. But yeah, I mean, what is a T25, which is what this is like to drive? Some people call them a T3, by the way, or Vanagon over in the States. They're quite nice to drive. I mean, so long as you're not in too much of a hurry. They can be a bit heavy. You're never under any illusion that you're driving a big vehicle. I mean, they are big, but visibility is excellent. The turning circle is excellent. Fuel economy on the 1.9 diesel about 30-35 miles per gallon, which is not bad really, all things considered. And yeah, I mean, with this engine, it's powerful enough, you know. I mean, it does move, keeps up with modern traffic. Catches the wind a lot, but my best recommendation there is to make sure that all your bushes and ball joints are in good order, and that does make a big difference. You can upgrade the anti-roll bar on the front as well for a larger one, also makes a difference. And because this one has a high top as well too, it's that much kind of more prone to getting windswept. I in the past had a Volkswagen a Syncro, four-wheel drive one of these, and that held the road to something amazing, and it was a much nicer van to drive, but it had that 1.6 turbo engine in it, which is underpowered. Motorway speeds, yes, it will do 120 kilometers per hour or 75 miles an hour if you want to wreck the engine and burn through a ferocious amount of diesel. You can do that, but I don't. I would tend to stick to 100 kilometers an hour, about 60 miles an hour, and it's happy enough with that, to be honest. And it's good enough. I mean, you just kind of stay behind the trucks and heavy goods vehicles, and yeah. It's I actually really enjoy driving it. One of the big upgrades I did to this was to put captain's seats in it, which are seats with armrests. You can kind of just see my arm is on the rest there now, and they are so comfortable. The driving position is great, you know. You just kind of sit back and let the engine do its thing. It's actually fairly quiet for an old school diesel van, you know. I mean, by comparison to other vehicles of its era, it's probably one of the quietest. Suspension is floaty, but throw it into a corner and it'll kick your arse. You won't be going fast into a corner if you want to come out the other side of the corner. Especially as well too, because this being a camper van, it's always heavy. But you know, look, I wouldn't have driven all the way around France and everything like that in it if I didn't like driving it. It's got character, people love it, you know, people wave, and yeah, it's something a bit different. I love the 70s and 60s buses as well too, but the great thing about the 80s one is the fact that it's bigger inside. It's a lot more practical in many ways. I mean, you have the diesel engine, you know, they are more reliable. I've had a 70s one in the past as well too, and although I love it and I would have one again, for the amount of driving I do in it, I have to have the practicality of the 80s one. And now that I've got the little young lad as well too, he's going to be coming away in it with us probably next year. We haven't done any camping trips in it this year, which is the first year we haven't since we got it. And yeah, so anyway, I'm just after arriving at the gate of where the Beetle is, so I'm going to go in and get the engine loaded up in the back. This is the only vehicle I have which the engine would easily fit into the back of, so it seems like the practical choice. It's kind of it's middle of November now, so you know, it's cold and all that as well too. I certainly wouldn't be going camping in it, but you know, anyway, sure, look at I'll update you again a little bit later and we'll continue on from here. Not that you can see much, but that's the van in question. It's looking a bit crusty at the moment because of winter roads and all that as well too, but I'll take a proper video during the day. 450 horsepower Beetle engine, holy shit. Okay, so I'm here in the workshop now, and the engine's up on a stand, ready to be gone through. I just took the spark plugs out there, and they are not looking too bad. A little bit on the carbony side of things, but yeah, so it's in the right place now anyway. Just wander around the machine shop. So yeah, should be interesting to see how this all pans out anyway. Well, I had to stop to get a bit of dinner because I'm absolutely starving, and I didn't eat since 2 o'clock. It is now 8:30. So yeah, just pulled in on motorway services. If you're wondering why I leave the engine running, this engine is a turbo diesel. Now, a good turbine engine builder that I am, I know what happens with turbos when you don't let them cool down properly before turning the engine off. You're starving them of oil, you're letting the oil coke up, and you're causing thermal shock. So when you come in off a motorway and you've been working the engine hard and the turbo's been spooled up, leave the engine run for at least 30 seconds, preferably a minute. Let the turbo and the exhaust gas temperature stabilise before turning it off. So that's what I'm doing on the van, because the turbo is probably glowing a nice cherry red there. But yeah, I'm really happy with everything today. I mean, it was a successful mission. The engine is now up with bug bits, and hopefully I'll be getting a few pictures of the strip and how that all goes. But the only thing is, yeah, I won't be able to go up there again for the next little while, so we'll just rely on the pictures. I'll throw a few of them up. Apologies for my voice, I'm horribly congested at the moment, so yeah, anyway, look, I'll leave it there for this video and keep you updated, and yeah, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in a future video. See, that means I'm tired. Thanks for watching.